associations in the post-leadenly past, and me disconnections with that lump. Whom battles joined no battles ever. Won't you aid a comp? But in his difficulties, Cres Dobrinian, he feels a bit like a battlefall of stout, but falls a bat for like a borrowful of bear. And me all for Omigrim, between me associations in the post-leadenly past, and me disconnections with that lumpervious futules, I've a boodle full of memories in me bosom, and me dears run slow as blimey, as I now with platonic leave recoiling, how the thickens they come back to one thrust. Me missionary post for all them old boyars that's now boomeranging in wall holler, me alma maters. I bring to them Brycorn spirits fusilating, and you, collies adjutant, even where it's content to body with absence werewolf. Jungle men in a gleam, I give thee, our greatly sworn, the occupant that ruined Redwood, the throne Fulna, and all are roiled about with the arrest of the whole inhabitants of Noy Islands. One brief mouth, and Veligo Lapnow, the old Attashis, the Kurgan, if they could get a kick at this time for all that happens to us. Cedric said Gormlison, and Dan O'Donoghue, and Conor O'Conachar. It is this were their names, for we were all under that manor barracks on Congor's Wood together, Turkman Tree, with those khaki rainettes, our miladies in their toileries, the Twum Flum Yumnitzes, Vieras Vienaskayas, of old Yadya Unken, who was a great mark for drinking and junking up the power poses of Wump and Womp we wore, and the charm of their least brocade. For list is half the burn in eye, but when it banes fire nor on screen it. Hulp, hulp, huzzahs, raise, rast, piracy, 3 times 3, up Lancesters, and Atom. Pat, who still senses that heaven sent whirlwinds that entertained him, who they were sinual rivals from the sunny Espionia, but plied wapsie with his wallet in attack of Bustle Bakerloo, 1132, passing the uninational truth bosh and smoothing irony over the multinatural infructuosities of his grinner set. The rib, the queen of old birds, Sinya Sonjavich, your Rhoda cards that are ready to embrace our ruddy infantry world, in their Oho Sililvian Diribab way, till they've kinks in their tringers and boils on their taws. Poor doors the plain lie, Merventure. This dramhead Count Marshal or Gunner stab. Mind your pews and pews if you pig its marsh. Do the nothing but be a dag, for Zahur and Zimmerman. Sing in the chorus to the ether. In the heliotropical north time, following a fade of transformed tough, and pending its vice version, a metenergic re-glow of beaming bat, the bare-board bombardment screen, if tastefully torched uranium satin, tends to teleframe and step up to the charge of a light barricade. Down the photo slope in syncopank pulses, with the bits of quag their tests, the missile drops, glitter a glatter borne by their carnio wild. Spray gun rakes and splits them from a double focus. Grenadites, damnamite, extra nice nickelite, and the scanning fire spot of the scanners traverses the rooty land stiluster and sunk-sundered line. Slush! A gaspel truce leaks out of the casein coatings. Amid a fluorescence of spectacular mephitism, there calculates through the inconoscope, stealthily but still, the figure of a fellow chap in the woolly gas, Hopi O'Donoghue, the general of the Rushaway. The Eidolon exhibits the seals of his order, the star of the son of heaven, the girdle of Isabella the Colotica, the cross of Michaelides a Paleogos, the lanchet of Jan of Nepomuk, the puff and pom-pom of Powder and Paul, the great belt band and bucklings of the martyrology of Gorman. It is for the customers his mudwake servite, the victor. Please do not noise speech above your dread, please to doughboys. Something's been wrong with this personage. He blanks his ogles because he confesses to all his television nieces. He blocks his nosos because that he confesses to everywhere. He was always putting up his latest angel. He wallops his mouth with a sword of puffskinners because that he confesses how often he used to be opening her, how one time he used to be undering her. He bundles all together his manuscripts with his terrorists, in as much as because that he confesses before all his hand accomplishes and behind all his comfortabilities. And here his aunt came back, saying he couldn't steal no longer, yet his cats come back because he couldn't stay away. He touched upon this tree of livings in the midst of the garden, for inasmuch as because that he confessed it to it on hill and down Dalem, and in the places which the lepers inhabit in the place of the stones, and in Pontefort just forgetting amore it, now he comes to think of it, jolly well rotten generously, all the over the old blocky shop. Pogger old Pompey old Dungershift, there will be a hen collection of him after Avensong on the field of Hannah. Dumble down looties and gangster men, tin 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 tin. But with a gesture expansive and little huge white caterpillar with sun-floored boat and hole pulled up point blank by mailbag mundanism at Old Valley Court, though the hissing density buck far of his malevolence tells how when he was fast marking his first lord for cremation, the wife of his botham was the very lad's thing to elder his behind. Prostatates, few jealousies, double noises, precious. Defence in every circumstance of debaucheries, know the chaste stats. Tactics, pews and pews to be falsely pupil. Be at the pain, please, of not forgetting or mere betoken yourself to huddle play. Correct me, please, commando, for Cossacks, but I abjure on. No more basky baziques for this pole African. With Ascor Milles Esker Millet. I had my billy fell of duckish delights the whole Puckney time on Romeo and Julian, with their lamb stools in my kidneys and my ram's butter in their satin ribs, knee her, do her and tray her, when the Syrian come dumb like the Welsh on the fjord, and we praying players and pinching peace smoke, troopers Tommy Atkins all, for Father Petrie Spence of Parish Muslattery, to go and leave us, and the crimson dawn to shed a light on the dark human, seen as sign, Slobberbogue, feeding and sleeping on the Huguenots, the snuggest spaniels where the lion came, and raiding revelations over the Albigenses, Sanderson, Saintus and Saunders again. Yet still in all, spit for spat, like we chanted on Thunderscoon, every Warson weary carries a crumnet in his snapback, and unless I'm getting forgetfuls of the rudiments of savage wildfire, I was game fellow will mate and send us victorious with Knowles and Browning, dumb sneak and curry, and all the fun I had in that Flanagan's week. A strange man wearing a barrel, and here is a gift of negs and pigs, and as I live by chipping Norton, and his iron fits the farmer eye. Arc Desedo, Renbo Rumble. Then were the halcyon days for our fellows, the loyal Leicesters, and we was the redug-out raw recruitionists, Praddy's 3 and Pretish 2, a wheeze we has in our Wainwood Islands, we English, one long blue street, Gisty and pity of Dirk Rosalam. With hand to hand, as Omar Cayenne was always jiggity-jogging about in his windowed courage, when our woos with the wenches went wine for a song, singerly singerette, while Woodbine Willie, so popular with the poppy rossies, our Charney Chaplain, blew the air. Slant, Van Dyne, Bisvasses, St. Peter and Bowl, and we all tuned in to hear the top mass noviality. Up the rebels drown the rinks, and all my stips all round. Harry Bonham, Yviv, Encore, and Tig Patag, Tug. My droom of those days, I loved you above all the stress. Blow-hole brass hat and boy with his boots off, and the butch of our bunch and all. It was Bucku Bonza, believe me. I was a bare pride without my dog legs, but I did not give to one humpany dump, wing or wang, touching those thus engaged slavey generals of Tana Cornels, the militias, pronouncing their very flank movements in some picture bosque. baddest the what. I could always take good cover of myself, and idols or earwakers, trails for rain or combination. I did not care for tankers, hoops, sham, hem or chatted, for any feelings from my life private on their retrograde linens, because I have their honours both my respectable sirs and sisters Hood off Lyndhurst Terrace, the pretty Mrs. Chalana Dallin, and she inventing her angur can bear the trope on her alliance, and I know his hairiness, my respectable Madame Colonel on Melee Street, Lieutenant Gunter Sowa, and they would never be aimes of salvation let me down, not on your bludger life towers, no peeping pimpadours, and by Jova, I never went wrong nor let him doom till, risky walk, rasky woke, at the head of the wake, up comes Stumblebum, the old contemptible, his Ursian general, in his Scots roads unreformed, and he went before him in that Nemcon Enchalan, with the same old dumbstool story, and his upleave the fallener as his greatly to be petted, white side to his beard, and I seen his breeches shirt offensive, and his Bartholomew Badenhamag's vice of eyes them Charlotte runners, and how they gave love to him, and how he took the ward from us. Odious the fly flirtation of him and hers, just mermaid meddling it was that he was. And by Orland, for a ever sword, by the splunters of Colt and Bungo's the enemy, the Percy Rally got me, Mester, as true as there's an Almanian daughter of it, to blow the grand off his ace over. This take its neast, and after meat the Dulwich. We insurrection, and be the procuratress of the hoary synod. Before he could tell Porriergan to parry Lewis, I shot him, like a wide sleever, hump to dump, tumbleaver. Taff cannot sensing that since they have given Braun and Ulan, the Volker boast sung is heading to see Vermilion, but too well bred not to ignore the unzemlianess of his rival's proceedings. In an effort towards autosatirization, effaces himself in favour of the ideology, all wise behounding his lumpy hump of homosodalism, which means that if he has lain amain to lully his liking, Cabron, he may pop Lily a young one to his heart, Comproon. O holy rasher, I'm believer, and o bully clever of ye braggart old Goneril, the grand o whole spider. It is a name to call him, Umster Dumpfon. Ah, you were shuttery shotters, and sieger besieged. Ah, race of fierce machins, counter a nation o ho of short shooters. But, miraculizing into the damned deaf-ear war cry, his begot is bristling, as jitting-jew triggity-shittery pet, he shouts his hump, and fee four foul fingers up the high oars of their eyes. Bloody muddy muzzle, the buck be shattered, he'll unbuzzle no more graves, nor horn, nor honda, lugaroo for gale gazelles and dead men's hills, Captain, Bassacks to his beard, his cumbulant ambulance, the frustrate fourscar, Ruska, Cruscum, dumb alpha corwan, conundrum chuff. Taff, who as best as can, with the helps of Gosh and his brother maker, has been sulphering to himself all the pungatories of sin practice in failing to follow the agonies of the dumb. Tris the mango, and the name of the most merciful, the august, the gracious one. In sober sooth, and in sober civil, and to the dirtiment of the curtailment of his all of man, not so? But, moment scoffing, with epoxy ominously deturbane, but them's bleaching veins, will be after making a bashman's halo day, out of the euphorious hagio-hygie cynicism of his die and be diadem. Yes, sir, in sabre tooth and sober seville, se non è vero, that he leaves me yet is my grief. He dared me to it, and he dared me to it, and be dead I did dare done it, as Coxnark of Kiltalk can tell, and Osser Ursuson of the victorious onrush, with all the rattles in his optic, as bold and as madhouse of bull in the meadows. Nout nitric kinky-beard, all the foe, the soul of foe mo times, on none. For when he see him, and turf o'clock and Roland all over our Lord's land, be heaving up that sob of comfort to claim for to wolf himself puddywhack, aye, and untwining his colophone in an exit as arse royal, deo, yupto, at that instant to Igor Latin, pronto, I gave one double notch and I ups with my crozier, mirdo, with my how on armour and hits leg and arrow, cock, shock, rock, rug, sparrow. The abnihilation of the Etim by the greening of the groaning of the grinder of the grunder of the first lord of Hertford explodetonates through Pasturalia with an Ivan Morinthora rumble frago rumboacity, amid which his general uttermost confusion are perceivable molten scaping with molecules, while Coventry plumpkins fairly go smother themselves in the land on elegance of Pinkadindy. Similar senatas are projectilized from Honolulu, Bulawayo, Imperial Rome, and modern atoms. They were precisely the 12 of clocks, none minutes, none seconds, at some seat of old Danelangs Clongeric, by dawny break in era. Half, skimper scamper, his wolves gatherings all over Cromlin, what with the versatile boys are tames, and is it her tour and the crackery of the full 4-5 firearms, and the crockery of their damn dum-dum chumpers. For all the world up the airs, Shadamovic. But, pulling a last stark Daniel with a less do while too greater than pardon painfully the issue of his mouth, innuendoing, reality of abilities, he becomes, Allah vitally faith, sure enough, like Fawn McBoor. But and Taff, desperate slave wager, and foeman feudal unshackled, now one and the same person, their fight upheld to right for a wee while, being battled and tottered, umbraged by the shadow of old Ursia's magis mythical mulatto militiaman, the living by owning over the surface of the glebe, whose sway craven minions had cause to revile, as, too foul for hell, on the boiling mouse's burning brand, he falls by Gul's gilly, but keen-heartened by the certain insistence of the Tarks O'Reillys, in a hurdy-gurdy Sicilian concert tone of their Fongina Barney brawl, shaken everybody's hands, while S.E. Morehampton makes leave to Ian Shield Martin, after meeting house Lanigan, has embraced Virginal Hall, and without falter or murmur or blatherhoot of fosterliness, cognates the pledge of fiendship, duke to duke, with a common turn ouch to fest man and best man, as Toot Sally's emotion palms it off like commodity tokens against a cocoa-can-can cacocanution. When all the worms were the gadding, and Anthea first unfoiled her limbs wanderloot, was the way the wood wagged, where after and after were Samuelized twins. They had their muttering ivies, and their murdering ivies, and their mouldering ivies in that muscat grove, but there'll be bright puny flowers in Calumella's cool bowers, when the magpire's battle towers, scorching and screeching from the raven and dove. If these lobes the sex of his head, and these eights the sleep of his trousers, he's dancing figgies to the spittle side and shoving out to the sewer. And he'll be buying buys, and go gulling gells with his flossing and jessing of carn, silk and honey, while my and I playing Lancifer Lucifog, and what's done at the battle for us makes coy cousin Corolane's more sweeter to we. So till but again Bodley shoots one rising germinal, let Bodley chow the fat of his anger, and badly bide the toil of his pub. The pump and pipe fingers are ideally reconstituted. The powder and bowls are people packed up. All the presents are determining as regards for the future the how-abouts of their past absences, which they might see on a hearing, could they once smell of taste from touch. To ought find the value sought. The must-over listingness, when X bodies on him, as that were, still held. Blump. Shut him up. And Bud did down well right. And if he sung dumb in his glass darkly, speech lit face to face on all around. Vocifer adjutant, vice of our sounding, namely Abdullah Bulbul Amir or Ivan Slavansky Slavar, in all confusion, as to whom the major guilt had pertained, it was Harkasifat's care to his use. Beauty's bath is bound to bind beholders, and pride his purge, as place appointed penance, and the law's own libel lifts and lames the low with the lofty. Be of the house. While the hersey hunt, they harrow the hill, for to rout them rollicking rogues from, rule those rackety romps from, rein their rockery rides from, rambling. Night-clothed are wound, the conquerors sway. After their battle, thy fair bosom. There is too true enough in Soledad's island, as in molten Germany, and